It is day 1 of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and we're already seeing the most overpowered Pokemon yet. These are in terms of raw power, not necessarily what will rank highest in competitive Pokemon, but power is generally correlated with how good a Pokemon is. This video will be in the context of competitive Pokemon singles, but many of the Pokemon mentioned would be overpowered in-game too, and potentially in competitive doubles as well. We will be including cover legendary Pokemon too, and this is more of a general list than anything related to the Smogon tiering system. Make sure to stick around and subscribe for more competitive Scarlet and Violet content, but let's get right into it. At number 1 we have Houndstone. Houndstone doesn't look very intimidating, but it has a deadly secret. It has a special move, Last Respects. Last Respects is a base 50 power move, nothing special, but it gains 50 power for every fainted ally. This wouldn't normally happen in-game, but in competitive Pokemon you can build strategies around that. That means if the rest of your team is fainted, it turns into a base 300 power attack. You heard that right, it's the strongest move ever. On top of that, Houndstone can use a new Generation 9 Terastallization mechanic to gain even more out of its stab attack. If you thought Fishious Ren Dracovish was bad, Houndstone takes it to a whole new level. Normally, these mega powerful Pokemon can get outsped, that would be their key weakness. If you outspeed them, then there's no problem and you can knock out Houndstone before it knocks you out. Unfortunately, Houndstone also gets the ability Sand Rush, which doubles its speed. If you pair it with Tyranitar, you have something magical. It's still early, but I've seen people use level 55 Tyranitar in a level 100 tier, with the idea being to have Tyranitar as weak as possible to faint as soon as possible to let Houndstone come in the game. There are basically two broad strategies around Last Respects. One is all-out attack, trying to sacrifice all your Pokemon as soon as you can and trigger the 300 base power attacks. This means using a lot of Pokemon with moves like Memento and trying to faint as soon as you can. Others play the game normally but know that in the back pocket they have a trump card that they can unleash. Houndstone is not an amazing Pokemon statistically, so it's a bit of dead weight until it can activate its potential late in the game. The most powerful dead weight ever, but still dead weight, at least in the context of the early game. The one drawback is that Last Respects is a ghost type, so normal type Pokemon could block it, and other weather teams can remove Sandrush. Inherently, any strategy that revolves around losing all your Pokemon is insanely risky. Undeniably though, the raw power is ridiculous. Bascu Legion gets the move too, but Pokemon from the Hisuian region are not available in Scarlet and Violet yet. At number 2 we have the cover legendary Koraidon. Koraidon is naturally blessed with good stats, but its ability sets up Sunny Day and gives a 30% boost to power while Sunny Day is active. Combine that with Terra-type Fire and Koraidon is unstoppable. Its signature move Collision Course is incredible too, giving a vanilla strong attack. You can use any move that you want from Choice Band to Choice Specs to Life Orb to Flame Charge. It's very difficult to screw up that much power, and the ideas around it are very straightforward. A simple moveset of Outrage, Flame Charge, Swords Dance, and Collision Course can annihilate a team. This isn't as crazy as Houndstone, but it's overall more consistently deadly because all its other stats are amazing. It's not a one-trick pony, it's a legendary, and it lives up to that legendary title. At number 3 we have Flutter Mane. This Pokemon is unbeatable under Sun because Sun is one of the ways to trigger its ability Photosynthesis. Depending on your EV investment, it's a free Choice Specs or Choice Scarf. Ghost plus Fairy is a good defensive type and has good offensive synergy, with Fairy beating Dark who would normally beat Ghost. Nothing resists the dual stab combination. Then, when Flutter Mane terrestrializes, it becomes even more unstoppable than it already was. An unresisted stab combination with ×2 power on one of its stab moves and a Choice Scarf or Choice Specs is of course going to be strong. Timid Choice Specs gives you a speed boost and Modest Choice Scarf gives you a special attack boost. Both get the job done with devastating results. How do you even beat a Pokemon like that? It's already one of the fastest Pokemon ever, and it gets a +1 speed boost. Because you're going to get outsped, you have to find a way to live a hit. But how can you live a hit versus a terrestrializing monster? It's still great even if it's not on a Sun team, and instead uses the item Booster Energy. Booster Energy is like a Choice Scarf or Choice Specs, but without having to restrict yourself to one move. Booster Energy variants of Flutter Mane are much more common because you wouldn't have to restrict yourself to being on a Sun team. Undoubtedly, Flutter Mane is the top Pokemon in the OU tier, which is standard play on Smogon. Its stat profile and abilities are honestly more aligned with a legendary Pokemon that belongs in the Ubers tier. The entire OU tier right now is warped around its presence and power. Again, unlike Houndstone, it's not a one-trick pony. Some Flutter Manes are even running Terra Normal so that they can beat other Flutter Manes by turning into a normal type Pokemon at the right time. Flutter Mane is still a great Pokemon in the Ubers tier, which unlike OU is actually meant for the overpowered Pokemon. At number 4, we have the other cover legendary Miraidon. Miraidon has a similar ability to Koraidon, except it's for electric terrain and not sun. Even better, its signature move Electro Drift is an electric type move, so it does get boosted by the electric terrain it sets up. This is unlike Collision Course, which is a fighting type move that doesn't get boosted by its sun. Miraidon also gets Parabolic Charge and can make Miraidon deceptively hard to deal with. The reason it's lower on the list than Koraidon is because electric is much easier to stop. Ground types like Ting Lu and Clodslider can wall the electric type of attack. Make no mistake though, it's still plenty strong and is an amazing Pokemon. At number 5, we have Maushold, who just like Houndstone doesn't look threatening at first. But just like Houndstone, it has a really crazy move in Population Bomb. Population Bomb is a move that attacks 10 times in one turn. On top of that, Maushold has Technician to boost the power of each hit. Then it has the move Tidy Up, which removes hazards and uses Dragon Dance at the same time. Basically, Maushold Dragon Dances and then goes for Population Bomb. Bonus points if you're using King's Rock on Maushold. As of right now, King's Rock got banned in the Ubers tier of legendary competitive Pokemon on Pokemon Showdown because King's Rock Maushold was crazy. King's Rock applies for each hit, so all 10 hits from population control have a chance to flinch. Besides King Rock, you actually probably want to use the item Wide Lens. Each hit has 90% accuracy, but with Wide Lens, each hit becomes 99% accurate and it's much more reliable overall. You can do the math on that. 20 base power for each hit, a 1.5 times boost on each hit because of Technician, and then the move attacks 10 times with each hit having 99% accuracy. That's a lot of damage. There are a few more honorable mentions too, with other crazy Pokemon with unique abilities. Chien-Pao comes to mind as something potentially terrifying. In Generation 8, Weavile was arguably the #1 attacking Pokemon, and Chien-Pao is Weavile on steroids. It doesn't have knockoff, but it's better statistically. On top of that, its ability Sword of Ruin literally reduces your defense stat when you try to take it on. Chien-Pao gets Swords Dance, and its stab combination and speed is nice to have too. I wish it had knockoff, but it's still plenty strong. It looks like Game Freak is committed to power creep and we're all in for the ride. Dracovish is gone, but we got Houndstone instead. In the comment section down below, let me know what Pokemon you're having fun with in Scarlet and Violet.